Sometimes, when some crimes go slipping through the cracks, you must rely on a sensational corporation of chipmunks to pick up that slack. We are here to celebrate not one, but two Rescue Rangers games, but let's begin by exploring how Chip and Dale went from feisty rodents to the Disney Afternoon's most capable gumshoes. Chip and Dale are probably most famous for hilariously hassling Donald Duck. However, Disney's famous chipmunks debuted in 1943's Private Pluto as two identical, nameless chipmunks. Over time, they eventually evolved more distinct features such as Chip's clever personality and Dale's red nose. Then in 1947, the duo got their own cartoon, aptly titled Chip and Dale, and would go on to star in 24 classic theatrical shorts. Now, one of the things kids, and grown-up kids, love about Chip and Dale is how even in spite of their tiny stature, they are perfectly capable of navigating a big, formidable world. For what they lack in stature, they make up for in courage and ingenuity. And the formula of little heroes in a giant world is just too much fun to ever go out of style. So, what if Chip and Dale could take their special brand of comedic survival skills and tackle some real problems? Maybe as a team of crime fighters? And that's exactly what happened when Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers debuted on television in 1989, and the famous duo were joined by brand new crew members including Gadget Hackwrench, the team's mechanic, Monterey Jack, the cheese-obsessed muscle, and Zipper, the lightning-fast fly. Rescue Rangers was an immediate success on the airwaves, but back then we 90s kids had an even bigger question on our minds. Where's the game? In 1989, the DuckTales game came out and fans were blown away. It reviewed well, it sold well, and most importantly, Capcom's DuckTales lived up to the legacy of its television source material in a way very few video games did back in the 8-bit days. And that meant the Rescue Rangers game had a tough act to follow. Fortunately, we're here talking to you right now because Capcom's Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers game more than lived up to that challenge. With its immaculately tight controls, the game felt faster than almost anything players had experienced before, and for the time, the visuals were way better than what we were used to. And no matter how well you think those details hold up all these years later, the major detail Rescue Rangers included helps it stand out to this day. Not only could you choose between playing as Chip or Dale, you could play as both at the same time, making for one of the best co-op experiences of its day. Rescue Rangers had another uncommon game mechanic up its sleeve too. Instead of equipping Chip and Dale with a singular weapon, the chipmunks had the ability to pick up numerous items in the environment to chuck at enemies. And since each stage is littered with wooden crates, enormous apples, or metal blocks, players had an infinite amount of ammo they could hoist above their heads and throw to their heart's content. Even better, you can also duck inside certain items you're carrying, shielding Chip/Dale and acting like a free hit. You could even call it one of gaming's first adorable approaches to a cover system. You should feel free to experiment, because the nature of Rescue Rangers branching levels means you'll have to play the game more than once if you want to see everything. And since almost all 10 of the game's enormous levels feature an incredibly fun climactic boss fight, being thorough is totally worth the time. So, whether due to the authentically colorful and cartoony sprites, a rather ingenious combat system, or the inspired two-player action, the original Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers was embraced by players, fans of the Disney Afternoon cartoon show, game critics, and went on to become one of Capcom's best-selling games of the early 90s. Rescue Rangers 1 remains beloved to this day, so it might surprise a few classic gamers out there that there is indeed an epic follow-up you might not have played. Not unlike DuckTales 2, which is also included in the Disney Afternoon collection, Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers 2 was unfortunately released after the television show was ending its run on the Disney Afternoon syndication block and when the 16-bit era was in full swing. As a result, Rescue Rangers 2 fell under a lot of fans' radars. But hey, it's back and officially playable for the first time since 1994, so you can all see firsthand why this sought-after sequel fetches a pretty penny on the collector's scene. Similar to the first game, you'll travel to numerous Little Big levels, where restaurant countertops and refrigerators may as well be the most dangerous locations on the planet, hurling objects to stave off baddies all the while. Or you could even toss your own partner if you're feeling super competitive. But of course, Rescue Rangers 2 comes to the table with new ideas and level types, such as a timed escape mission, an airstream floating section, and even a chipmunk-powered minecart level to add a little more variety. Better still, the colossal boss battles that conclude stages make a return, but overhauled to be a little more challenging and intricate, featuring more elaborate attacks, patterns, and some additional environment factors. Seriously, if you're a Chip and Dale fan and you haven't played Rescue Rangers 2, you really should. Either way, fans of the Disney Afternoon, Capcom, and Rescue Rangers are in for a real treat on April 18th, when the Disney Afternoon brings a double shot of Chip and Dale to PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, along with Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, DuckTales 1 and 2. All 6 games have been newly optimized with added features, such as a handy rewind button, boss attack modes, and a treasure trove of Disney Afternoon goodies via the in-game museum.